will go back to the business model or the lean canvas, which they're almost talking about the same, but there's a slight difference between the two. Because it's after you have your model or the strategy, sorry, after you have your business model or the lean canvas, then you start thinking about executing or implementing the model. And this is where the business plan comes in, whereby you have a fair idea how you are going to create value or how you are going to make money or how you're going to run your business. That's your business model. But how do you actualize it? And this is where maybe business plan may come in. Though today, many entrepreneurship facilitators don't teach business plans because they're saying out of date. But if you want an investor to come in, definitely business plan is key. And for me, business plan, as you are preparing and putting that document together, helps you to understand your business better because you'll be conducting a whole lot of analysis, which will even sometimes force you to go back to your business model to make some changes. So they are linked. And as we learned last Thursday, business model is a component of a business plan. Is there any comment, any question on last Thursday's conversation before we start today? About 2-3 minutes, at most 5 minutes on this. Then we start because we have a lot to do this afternoon too. Is there any comments? Any question? Okay.
So good afternoon, Prof.
Good afternoon.
Actually, I just want to ask a simple question. It's about the language that should be used in writing a business model, or sorry, business
plan.
Business plan, right? Yes. Would it be the simple present tense or the future tense?
That's very interesting question. Well, it depends, to be frank. Because if you are already in the business, and let's say you started your business 5 years ago, and you are writing your business plan today, the introduction about talking about the history of your company definitely has to be passed because it's something that has happened. You see, but talking about analyzing the environment, for instance, sorry, but I don't know why all of a sudden, whether it was coming from the network or whatever, the whole Zoom shut down. Please, do you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir, we are getting you.
Yes,
Okay.
please. Yeah.
Thank you. Because I think the Zoom, everything went off. I don't know whether it's coming from my network or wherever coming from. Yes, so if, for instance, you are talking about the analyzing the current situation, then it can be present. Alternatively, as you are looking ahead into the future, coming out with strategies into the future, then can be future tense. So you cannot say that a business plan when writing should be limited to just a past tense, present, or the future. It depends on the section of the plan that you are putting together. Hello?
Hi, sir.
Yes. So the questioner, are you okay? I didn't get your name well, but the one who asked the question. Are you okay with my response?
Yes, I am okay with the response. Thank you, doctor. That's so wonderful.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay then. I'm going to share my screen with you, and then we can start our conversation. Okay, I think there is a hand up. Willie, your hand is up. You can go ahead and ask your question. Willie, are you there? Okay, I think Willie is not there. Okay. I think I don't need to introduce myself, or do I have to? Do we have a new comers this afternoon? But my name is here, and I'm also a full-time faculty at a business school. And I believe last week I did introduce myself. Unless you have a particular question you want to ask, then I can respond to that. But please, do you see my screen?
Yes, sir. I've seen it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as we have leading a high growth venture, leading a high growth venture. And these are the learning outcomes. You should be able to identify the challenges associated with a growing venture, understand the framework for managing a growing venture, determine the various growth options available to an entrepreneur. So you want to grow your business, you want to expand. How do you expand? We talk about it. And also, as you are strategizing to grow, as you are expanding, there are risks associated with almost each option you take. So what are the risk options? And then in practical terms, how do you identify your revenue streams? How do you identify your revenue streams? Or how do you identify your new customer segment? But I think the revenue, how do you identify your secondary revenue stream? It's a good point. So we will take our time and also go through practical activities. I like interaction a lot, so there may be back and forth because I believe some of you are already into it. You're running your businesses already. Those who are yet or who have just started to, I think you have a lot of questions to ask. And in the end, I believe you have an interesting. And what skill set do you require to grow your venture as the leader? Now, I'm taking you aback a little bit about how to create a new venture, how to start a business. Let me put it this way. And as we discussed, I think about, not last week, about 2 weeks ago, there are various options, 3 main options available when going into entrepreneurship. Like you want to be your own boss. You want to pursue your own dreams. You don't want to work for anybody. What are the options? As we discussed, you either buy an existing business, which may be the first option, or the other way around. In this case, somebody has already started. You just go in and the person is willing to exit and move to another venture. So you negotiate to buy. I think we had a discussions on this. And buying an existing business has pros and cons. And there are also basic things that you need to know before you take this option. The second option is franchising. This one too, you are not starting the business from the scratch. The assumption is that somebody has started, been successful, and as a result of that, you want to operate the same type of business using the same name and the same business model in a different city by paying a fee and licensing fee and also royalties annually. That's the franchising, as we discussed. Going franchising also as a startup option has its own merit and demerits. It has its own advantages and disadvantages, as we discussed. But in most cases, many people go into entrepreneurship by starting from the scratch. And that has been the focus of our discussions the last 2 weeks. And the last week is about maybe having developed your business model. How do you prepare your business plan, as we discussed last week? So starting from the scratch, and we always say entrepreneurship is a process. First, you should have that willingness to become an entrepreneur. If that motivation is not there, no, you can never. Because that should be the first starting point. For you, it has always been your dream to work for yourself. So it's always there. Then, after convincing yourself and having that push, you need to look at the various opportunities available. Business opportunities, idea generation, or identifying a business opportunity through a gap in the market space, as we saw in the Cocoa King example, or through a problem like the Grameen Bank issue, when Mohammed Yunus realized that people were poor, and that poverty is not their own making by the society, and decided to find a solution to the societal problem, leading to the establishment of the Grameen Bank. That today microfinance has become the order of the day in almost every country when it comes to financing small businesses and setups. The other is where, through government policy change or environmental changes, monitoring the trend, you observe something and you decided that, no, this is an opportunity and pursue. So after you have identified opportunity, you have evaluated it, you have developed your business model, you have also tested the business model, matching the product to the market, product market fit, or problem to the solution by testing it, going through the customer discovery exercise or the process. Now you tested the business model, it has worked. You started with just selling, as Cocoa King, for instance, started with just 250 cups of porridge every morning. At the time you were playing his video, he was making 5,000 cups of porridge each morning. It means the business model has gained traction. The business model is working. Now that the business model has gained traction in the marketplace, you then decide that you need to fund or grow your business. And that is the kind of conversation we are going to have now. Now you have started your own business for a while. Now the demand is great. You have established your brand name. Customers are happy with what you are doing. And other places, they want you to even open a branch there. But you see, my question is, what are the possible consequences for an entrepreneur who fails to manage the rate of growth of his or her firm? Let me change this question. What do you think? Who is the best person to decide the growth of a business? Is it the entrepreneur, the founder of the company, or it is the customer who determine the growth of a business, how the business to grow? Who is the best? Is it the owner of the business, or is it the customer, or who? Both, maybe. Which one? I want your view on this, please.
Okay, Prof, can I go on that?
Yes, go ahead.
I would suggest it's both in this case, but first the customer and also the entrepreneur, him or herself. For example, why the customer first? Because they are the reason why you are into production. You may want to do whatever because you are passionate about that, but if there is no customer, you may not want to continue doing that. So but their feedbacks really matters. And as a result, because their change or their needs will change over and over, you would have to listen to what they will tell you. So why the entrepreneur, but that also is important because you may receive feedbacks from these customers, but if you do not listen to what they are saying and you try to rebrand yourself around that, you may fail. So that is why the two are very important for me.
Okay, so very good point, Patrick. Very good point. So you are saying it is both the entrepreneur and the customer. Who else?
I'll go. Yeah, personally, yes. I would think that it's the customer first, definitely, because yeah, it's the customer. But then again, as Konate said, I think the entrepreneur also has to know when to grow, like to make the right move, because while customer you can have a lot of customers or a lot of demands, but you're not ready to grow. So you need to be careful with that.
That's also a very good point. As an entrepreneur, you must know when to grow. Let's look at this scenario. What about a situation where almost everywhere in the country, all the big cities, customers are demanding that you should open the branch. You should open. And you just decide to go ahead and open. What do you think can be some of the consequences? So we are coming back to this question.
Well,
where the entrepreneur feels to manage the group.
What was the question? Sorry.
Yes, the question is, in a situation where the entrepreneur failed to manage the growth of the business, what do you think will be some of the consequences?
First of all, he's gonna lose clientele, and like competition are gonna pick up his clients, and also he can have a tarnished brand name. I don't know.
Wow, you are right. You are going to lose your customers. Why do you think so? That you are going to lose your customers? Because customers are asking you to open a branch. But how do you think? If you don't manage, in the long run, you lose the customers.
Well,
Properly speak.
Hello,
can you hear me?
Okay, so Adipo, let the other person come. No, Adipo, conclude, and then the lady, you come in. Let Adipo conclude the comments.
Well, I mean, let's say if we're talking about branch, let's say, for example, like the closest branch is far from those persons or those people that ask for your branch to come near them. So basically, if there's competition that is close, or if they find alternatives, and then you don't let's say act upon their demands, they probably look elsewhere. If
you're unable to meet their demands, they will look elsewhere. That's a good point. Yes, the lady, can you come in?
Yes, Prof, I wanted to say that if your customers are demanding you open at different branches at different parts of the country, for instance, you should, as a good entrepreneur, be able to do a survey to see how many customers, and then you weigh the losses over the gains before you venture into opening any branch. And that's my contribution.
Okay, that's also very good. At least they are asking you to open. You need to know the market size of that city or that community. Is it profitable enough if you go in there? That's a good point. And let me just conclude, because we are spending a lot of time on this. You see, one of the key reasons why, as an entrepreneur, you need to manage the growth of your businesses. As Adipo indicated, you may lose your clients. And why am I saying this? Or if you're not careful, you damage your brand. Because as you are focusing more on expanding, you cannot be at every station, every community, every city at the same time. You need to bring in more people, hire in more. You need to open new offices. Even the new employees coming in, do they understand your culture? Do they believe what you believe? As you are expanding, you may dilute the brand. You may not be able to maintain the kind of standard you yourself have set for yourself. And as a result of that, the very reason why customers came to you, you lose it, and they will eventually also leave you. Another key point is, and here, if as an entrepreneur, you don't manage your growth, what accountant will say, you may end up being on your company being insolvent. Meaning that as you are expanding, as you are growing, especially if you are not selling on cash basis, but on credit, a time will come that you may not have enough liquid assets, meaning enough cash to meet your short-term obligations. And the moment you stop paying your creditors, your bankers in terms of the overdraft, they may fall on your assets and properties. And the moment it happens, you don't have a business. The company will collapse. The moment you become insolvent, you are more or less bankrupt. So that is why you need to manage how your business grows. So, what are some of the causes of unsuccessful scaling that some people may attempt to expand quickly? The moment they think of their model, sometimes even their model may not be gaining any traction. But because they want to grow, they want to expand, they start. So it can be the result of customers. Here, you have not been able to establish yourself very well. Your product doesn't fit the market needs very well, but you are thinking about expanding. In this case, you will fail. Sometimes too, because your product is not meeting the customer needs, you try to do what we call the sales promotion, giving more incentives to customers to buy. In the long run, your business may fail. It may be the results of the product itself. maybe the product is not meeting the customer needs. The product is not solving the customer's problem. I think there was a time in Ghana, some years back. I don't know whether the Ghanaians may realize this, but maybe it's a long time. There was this company which came out with a product. And this product is, they say mosquito curtains, meaning it's window curtains and door curtains. But they're saying that the moment mosquito comes in contact with the curtain, the mosquito will fall and die. This is how they were promoting the product and encouraging people to buy. But the very people who started buying this product realized that even when mosquitoes come in contact with the product, they become stronger. In the long term, the company collapses. Here, the product is not solving the customer problem. It may fail. Sometimes maybe about a team. You are starting a business, you have not even started generating revenue. You are hiring too many people at the early stage of the business. Loveline, please, can you mute? So sometimes it may be about a team, or you start hiring specialists, chief financial officer, marketing director, giving big titles. No, at the initial stages of the business life, because of limited resources, you have to be parsimonious in the use of your resources. Others may be about the financials. Sometimes you start your business, though we are saying, I always say this, you don't need that huge amount of money to start a venture. But there is also a saying that every business opportunity has certain resources that you need. Without that, you will fail. So for instance, if the size of your opportunity is like this, then you need resources. At the initial stage, the resources may not be equal to this in terms of the resources, in terms of the team. But with time, you need to mobilize to expand to be able to meet the size of the opportunity, or else your business will fail. So the point I'm making here is that too small a capital may eventually lead to the business failure. Let me give you another practical example. I had a student who was an entrepreneur, a really experienced entrepreneur, and decided to venture into making of roofing sheets. So this person spent almost 10 million Ghana cedis. In those days, I can say almost $5 million US. Invested this amount on equipment, putting up the factory house, building houses for the workers, forgetting that he may need working capital along the way. So after putting almost 20 residential facilities, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 20, he has a very big plot of land. Setting up the factory warehouse, buying all the factory plant and equipment, even testing the equipment. This person forgot to put out certain amount of money aside as working capital. After finishing everything, he needed 2 million Ghana cedis back to buy the raw materials to start the business. His money had finished. And you know what happened? The business, equipment, and everything lied idle for almost 5 good years before he enrolled on a program at Impact First Degree. He didn't have first degree at that time. And so at that time that I got to know him and visited the factory site. The point I'm trying to put across is that you need to prepare startup costs, as we learned last Thursday, to enable you. And when you are preparing the startup, don't just focus on only the fixed assets. think about the working capital. For the next 3-6 months that you have not started earning revenue, how are you going to finance the operations of the business, the day-to-day affairs? Don't also raise too much money, because if you raise too much money, as an entrepreneur, you become undisciplined. And by the time you realize you have spent everything. So that's why we say, most cases, start small, but think what? Big. Finally, your business model may be focusing on too much profit without thinking about delivering customer value first. And I always advise my students, when going into business, think money last, but think customer first. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Think money last, but think customer first. Why? What do you understand by this?
From my understanding, I believe money will never come in if customers are not buying your product. So giving reference to them, means money coming in.
Wow. Konate, you are 100% right. Yes, we know you are in business to make money, all right? But money at the initial stages shouldn't be your first ultimate. Because as Konate said, if you don't have a customer, do you have a business? No, I'm asking, do you have a business?
Yes, I have a business.
If you don't have a customer, you have a business. No,
No,
Konate,
no, no.
business without customer, sir.
if you don't have a customer, you don't have a business.
It's like a school without students.
That's the point. A school without students. So think about developing the customer first, and the rest will follow. Bill Gates, I always remember this. BBC interviewed Bill Gates and asked him, Mr. Gates, what is the secret of your success? When you started the Microsoft company, you know what he said? He said two things. The first is about the team. Engineers and business managers working together to come out with great products. That's one. The second point he said was that when we started, we were not thinking about the money. We were thinking about coming out with a great product. So initially, and this is coming from Bill Gates, he said initially, even at a point you were giving the DOS free of charge, the disk operating system. We were giving the software free of charge for people to try. We were begging businesses to try. We were not thinking about the money. So I'm not saying when you start, you give your product free of charge. No, I'm not saying that. But at least if you can break even, but develop the product, get feedback. And you say what? When the businesses saw the value of the product, that is when we came in and debate how much they pay for us. Because at that point, they can't do without it. So develop the customer first. And when the customer is happy, sometimes they don't think about the product, how much they are paying. They don't. They don't think about how much they are paying. Why should people pay about $2,000 for a phone? iPhone 14, there's an iPhone 14 Pro Max. There are some versions you pay most close to $2,000. But Techno, Infinix, $200, $300, you can get equivalent. Establish your brand. So now,
Doctor,
yes.
sorry, not to draw you back, but this is a doubt that I have. Where do we think the government policy in terms of like a challenge or something that may lead to an unsuccessful business scaling up. For example, in my country here, if you were to operate in the petroleum industry, you find out that there is a system of monopoly that the government and some like business personnel have. Like from the Gambia here, like you have this company we call Jar Oil, and you know this Jar Oil sort of dominates in that petroleum business, because he is the one who almost have access to buy land in all the villages or in all the towns. So if you have a petroleum business that you want to scale up, in that case, is government policy or government not going to even be a hindrance for your successful scaling up? And the other thing is also the availability of raw materials. For example, if I want to go into coffee production or chocolate per se, chocolate production in the Gambia here, and because we do not grow cocoa in large or in abundance, so I may want to supply, I may want to have my supplies from Ghana, raw materials. So the unavailability of the raw materials or the seasonal availability of the raw materials, how do you categorize that? Is that something that can also lead to unsuccessful scaling up of the business or not? Thank you.
Definitely. You are 100% right. And it's about the context. What you are saying is the context, the environment in which you are operating your business can affect your performance. Like the petroleum industry. You see, in the petroleum market or industry, it's like, I would say, cartel. They have created artificial monopoly that if you are a third party and want to enter that industry, you will not be successful. Are you getting me? So it's not a free market in the industry, no, where people can easily enter and exit. Sometimes the capital can be a hindrance. Startup capital can be a limitation. So yes, the context, the environment in which you are operating, the government policies, the unavailability of raw materials can hinder your growth. And I will drive more light on that as we go ahead with the conversation.
Thank you.
But you see, what factors impact on the growth of a business? What are the levers for growth? What factors stimulate business growth? Reflecting on your business model, analyzing your business model, what factors impact on the growth? And one may be your strategy, how you position your business, or the way you have positioned your brand. Are there opportunities for expansion? That's one. If yes, with existing product that I have, can I modify, customize to suit another market segment? And maybe in your industry, looking at the entire value chain, if I want to grow, what are the options available? So first of all, you look at your strategy. Can I increase the sale of the product to existing customers? Is it possible? Or can I open new shops in new cities, in other cities? What are the options? Now, when you realize there are opportunities for growth, there are growth options. What about your capabilities? Do I have what it takes? Manage a company with 3 branches. You entrepreneur need to assess yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you have what it takes to lead your company to the next level. And example is, I always use Google. Now Alphabet, that's the mother company. You see, the 2 guys who founded this company, Larry Page and Sergey, what in the other name? You know, these guys, were PhD holders at the time you were founding the company. But you know what they did? None of them became the CEO. They brought in somebody who has the capability, the experience, and the know-how. This guy called Eric Smith to lead the company. And they became vice president in their own companies. Can we have this in West Africa? In Nigeria, can we have this? In Gambia, can we have this? In Ghana, can we have this? Or you becoming a vice president of your own company?
It's possible. It's very possible. I think it has to do with trust. But also when it comes to our people here down in Africa, sometimes ethics becomes our problem. You have people that are very religious in this part of the world, but still we have that ethical problem. So one began to question, where is our religiosity even? So I think that is something that is very, very lacking in this part of the world, ethics.
I agree with you. So that's the point, the trust. You inviting this person to lead the company. If you are not careful, he will use your resources to set up a competitive business at the blind side of you. But normally when doing some of these things, this is where you need to invite a legal person, solicitor. But here sometimes, because of paying something to a lawyer as a fee, we want to do everything ourselves. In the long run, we pay dearly for that. It's about your capability. It's about organization and its culture. Can I easily integrate these new capabilities into the existing model? These are possible questions you need to ask. And it's about the value that you want to create. Your existing customer. Can I increase revenue from these people? Can I decrease costs? Can I fund the growth opportunities available? Can I raise the resources to fund it? So in reflecting on your business model, these are the three key things. Now, I want to take you through the basics. Then we go back to the practical aspects. How do you manage the growth of your business? And first, you need to be clear about your growth strategy. How are you going to grow? Are you going to grow? Are you going to grow using existing product? In existing markets? Are you going to grow using existing products in existing market? Maybe let me take you through this model, then we come back to this, the growth strategy. Okay, the model is here, but let me go off and maybe do a simple table so that you understand the point I'm making here. Okay, so those of you with a little bit of marketing background, we have a growth model marketing where what that we call unsolved product market growth matrix. Unsolved product market growth matrix. And in this growth matrix, we have 4 dimensions. On top here, you have product. And on the horizontal axis, we have the market. Okay. So here we have existing. And here we have new. Here we have existing. And here we have new. So the point I was making is that This is the product, this is the market. On the horizontal, we have the product, on the vertical, we have the market. Existing, new, existing, new. So the point is, we are asking, how do you grow? And please, I'm taking you through this theory. You go through practical activity. Are you going to grow by selling more of your current products to your existing customers? In marketing terms, we call this market penetration. Market penetration. Let's take Coca-Cola as a company. Coca-Cola company. Coca-Cola would say, I want to expand, I want to grow in revenue. But this growth strategy is based on the fact that I'm going to grow by selling more of Coke to customers buying Coke. And that is the market penetration strategy. So if you remember, many years ago, Coca-Cola company was bottling its Coke in a 300 ml bottle. Do you remember this? Only now they are refreshing back, they are coming back with a 3 ml bottle. So when Coca-Cola decided to strategize to grow, what did they do? Coca-Cola decided to promote Coke brand in a way, convincing customers to drink more of Coke. So today, we have 2 liter Coke bottle, 1.5 liters, 1 liters, 1 liter, 1.5 liters, 2 liters Coke bottle. They hardly even make their 300 ml. And convincing customers that if you just drink Coke just once a day, you can drink it twice or thrice, even drink it twice. So why don't you buy the 2 liter instead of 3 ml? Please, are you following the conversation?
Yes.
So in your own respective businesses, you can decide that I want to increase my revenue. But are there opportunities to sell more to existing customers? That's market penetration. Coca-Cola can also say that now we want to grow, but we want to sell still more to existing customers. But today, some of our customers are becoming health conscious. So why don't we modify existing Coke and giving the name Coke Diet? Coke Diet. Here, Coca-Cola has developed a new product for existing customers who are health conscious. Alternatively, they also have this product, Schweppes Bitter, for developing a new product altogether. This is new product development strategy. So you are growing by developing a new product, developing new brand. Nestle Ghana did the same thing. Previously, they have only one ideal milk brand, the blue color. In Ghana, I believe the other countries too they have. But today, they have extended the ideal milk brand and they have 3 lines. They have the green and they have the yellow one. I think the green one, I don't know whether for those who are health conscious, no fat. They are extending the line. They want to expand, but modifying existing product or customizing to suit a certain group of people. You can also decide to grow by focusing more of existing products. So Coca-Cola will focus more of Coke, but Coca-Cola would say, in some part of your country, my city, or my country, there are certain places that they don't sell coke. So why shouldn't I introduce coke to these new cities that don't have coke, don't have distributors, don't have agents? It's a new market development. So this one is market development. So you can expand your business by selling more of existing products to new markets, new places, opening new markets, new shops in different cities. In product development, modifying or introducing new product, or market development, here we say the risk is moderate. But when it comes to market penetration, because the customers already use the product, it's almost risk-free, the risk of failing. You can hardly fail in market penetration strategy. But in new product, new market, maybe the people are not used to. So your chances of failing may not be as high, but it may not also be low as the moderate, as the market penetration. So it may be moderate. We can also have situations where companies decide to diversify based on their existing resources and capabilities, the competencies they have acquired over the years. Coca-Cola would say that now we think we can open a bank called Coca-Cola Bank. Here, Coca-Cola is introducing a new product in the financial market to a new customers in that market. So new product, new market, diversification. But here, if you succeed, you make a lot of money. But the risk is very high, the risk of failing. Because nobody knows Coca-Cola to be good at selling money. And in Ghana, many companies collapse as a result of diversifying. Especially those number of companies in the banking sector, there are a number of companies in the transport sector that collapse because they all venture into real estate. When you diversify, you lose your focus. So these are the various growth options. And sometimes you put all your resources, your main line of business that is bringing you money. You even stop investing. You invest more in this new venture you want to attempt. And that's where, if you're not careful, your company collapses. Is there any comment, any question on using the answer product market growth matrix to explain the various growth strategies for businesses? Or I have confused you?
No, Doctor.
Yes.
I will contribute a little. I think this is something very important. And like you are saying, it is why so many businesses are failing, not just in Ghana, but even from my own experience here in the Gambia. I think consistency is very important in business.
Yeah.
Until you are established, like Dangote, Dangote, I think he's well established. That is why he has.
He's able to diversify to almost all the sectors.
Exactly. So, like you were saying, I have a friend who was into like poultry production, and at some point he said he was going into like organic farming also. So this is agriculture still, but dealing with different products. Like one, you have the poultry and you have the farm also there. So at some point, what happened is she failed because she couldn't manage the two businesses at a time. You will see that, like you're saying, the poultry was the one giving her more money, but later she ended up using that profit into trying to start the farm business also. And at the end of the day, the whole business, failed, and she lose focus and all of that. So I think, like you were saying, it's important that we understand this model. It's a very powerful one.
Is there any other comment, any question on the business model that I have explained? Yes. No? Okay. So I think what I have just explained is what this table is also portrays. Identifying growth options and aligning strategy and capabilities. To enhance means market penetration, enhancing your existing operations by selling more of existing products to more of existing customers. So leverage existing operating and go-to-market capabilities and the resources. Expand is where you introduce new products, you modify existing products to see the market needs, or introduce existing products to new markets. That means you are expanding your operations. But to explore is where you are looking at diversifying altogether, meaning you are going into new markets with a new product. And I think, as you indicated, here, if you succeed, you make a lot, but the risk of failing is high. The last option is where you try to sell the business altogether, but we hardly discuss this. So now, I want us to reflect how many of us, I think you did a business model canvas. True or false?
Yes, sir.
Good. It's true. So have you been able to prepare a business model canvas or your business model, how you run your business using the business model canvas? Have you been able to use that 9 building blocks?
Yes.
The value proposition,
Customer segment,
channels of distribution, customer relationship, then revenue streams, then key resources, key activities, key partners, and your cost structure.
Yeah.
So you have this, because you are going to build on that, on the business model. We're going to have a conversation on that. You see, there are a number of benefits of refining your business model to grow your revenue. Refining forces you to come out fresh ideas to stay competitive. Because you see, refining means what? Improving what you have. And if you are in business and you fail to improve, what we call innovation, the moment you cease to innovate, you are heading towards death. Your business will die. So Chris Newman said something years back. He said, either you innovate or your business will die. So innovation is key. So refining your business model is more or less innovating. And here we are talking about incremental. You can also come out with radical innovation, something new altogether to the market. You become profitable. You're able to address some of the changes consumer taste. You're able to take advantage of the new technology and the trends, and also comply with government policies. Now, what or how do you identify your secondary revenue streams? Some of you have been in business for some time, but in a business DNA, we say if you're a specialist, your business plateau, your business ceases to grow. How do you revive the growth of your business? Let's just use the case of Uber. So I want us to use Uber as a case study. when Uber started, let's assume when Uber started, this is exactly Uber's business model canvas. Do we see what on the screen, the business model canvas?
Yes.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
are you following the conversation?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir. We are with you.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
we are.
Yes. And I believe we have designed a business model canvas for our individual businesses. Even if for a startup you are starting, still, I believe you may have something of that sort. That may be after validating, you realize that it will not work, so you need to change some aspect of it. It's good. Let's take Uber. What do you think are the options available for Uber to increase its revenue? And here, let us look at this model, existing model. When Uber started, if Uber model would have changed for today as Uber is now. So for now, who are the customer segment for Uber? People in need of what? Transportation. That's passengers. That's one segment. Car owners who need extra money and who are ready to use their car to operate as a taxi. So we have these two groups of customers that Uber as a company said. Do we agree or we disagree?
Agree.
Okay.
Agree, sir.
What value is Uber proposing to this customer segment? For passengers, reliable and convenient transport. For car owners, additional source of what? Income. Customer relationships, how they relate to customers, the channel using Uber app and using Uber website and also the mass media as advertisement. How do Uber generate its revenue? Initially, percentage of the ride, the commission, they charge commission on each ride. And in Ghana, I think they charge 25%. I think between 20 to 25%. I think in other countries, they may have different companies providing services like Uber. I believe Gambia, do you have Uber operating or you have a local version of Uber?
Yes, we have a local version of Uber. I've once worked there. It's called One Banner.
Okay, but also the same model of Uber
Yeah, almost the
that they
same
are
model.
using.
Yep.
Okay. What about Liberia? Liberia, do we have?
I don't think so.
Okay. What about Nigeria? I believe Nigeria should have.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Have,
We
yes. Good.
We have Uber and we have other ones too.
Right.
Okay. And you have other versions. Okay. What about, so we have a clear idea the model Uber is operating. Now,
Yes.
if for instance, Uber wants to increase its revenue stream, what do you think are the options available for Uber? Looking at what Uber is doing now, what do you think? Uber wants to increase its revenue stream. Let's discuss.
Yeah, like for example, they can include VIP VIP,
Exactly.
Yes.
You see,
But
they can decide that initially, as Uber, we started serving everybody. But today, we want to provide premium service for customers who can afford to pay. So for premium service, the car may not be a smaller car, maybe Toyota Camry or Mercedes Benz or
SUV.
maybe Honda Accord, fully air conditioned for the elite, for those who have money to spend. So here, Uber will have another category of customers, which we call maybe the higher end. Higher end. Here, Uber is operating on this same model, but they have modified the services, the value proposition. Now you see, so this value proposition will change for this group of people. So please, one thing you also have to notice that as we are customizing a new product for Uber, we need to develop a new business model for Uber. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Because we cannot use existing business model to serve the higher end of the market. Can we?
No.
Because this group of customers, we cannot offer them the same value. So we need to redefine the value proposition. What are we offering? We are offering convenient, the Uber also offers that, but luxury, relaxation, AC,
and safety even.
and what?
Safety.
Safety. The Uber also provides that safety. But the key focus here is that the luxury aspect of it. And here, we serve you drink when you enter the Uber, especially going for a long distance, fully air conditioned in a luxury car. So for instance, you have a dinner with your first date. You cannot use these smaller Uber cars to meet your first date. Maybe you go for what? The luxury service, where maybe even the Mercedes Benz or Lexus or what have you. But you pay a premium price for this service. So the fare you charge here, the revenue stream will be different. The revenue will be different. How you communicate with these people will also be what? Different. That is why I'm saying, as you customize your existing product to meet a new market segment, you need to what? Refine your business model. You need to develop a business model for that. The resources you may need, they change. The services you provide, key activities may change. Your key partners may even change. But you can still maintain some of the existing partners. Your cost structure will also change. So you see the rationale. What other options do Uber have to increase revenue? Now, we have come out with a new market segment. Identify a new group of customers and developing the product to suit them. So here, this is new market development. I think Josephine, can you mute? Josephine, please, can you mute? Let's talk about product, because this is a what? Developing a new market. Do you know these car riding services also provide delivery services? Hello?
Yes.
You know Uber also provide delivery services?
Yes.
So here, Uber is developing or has developed a new product for existing customers. Because definitely most of Uber customers patronize delivery services. So why shouldn't we add this product? or this service to existing service. And in this case, Uber will need to design or prepare a new business model. You agree with me or not? Hey, the house is quiet. Am I confusing you or I'm talking too much?
Yes, we
We are,
agree.
No, sir, you're not confused.
we are not confusing.
Because there's going to be activity. That's why I want you to understand this model very well. Here, we are using our existing business model, or if yours is a lean canvas, you know, there's a slight difference between the business model canvas and the lean canvas. Are you aware of that?
Not yet, sir.
Okay, you later I will show you the lean canvas.
Yeah, I think we saw that the lean canvas you're talking about, right? Is it where you have products and solution problems?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. That is the lean canvas. That is the lean canvas. And lean canvas is becoming popular for especially startups, those who are just starting. But existing businesses, more or less that your business model has established, they normally go for the business model. But even as you are coming out with a new product, you can also use lean canvas to do that. Because now you have to define the problem and then the solution comes with that and then all the other elements. But are you following how we can make changes to our business model to increase our revenue?
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on. So now, I think we added a customer segment to Uber. You are going to add a new customer segment to your business model. To your business as a way of expanding. And I think this is the practical way of guiding you how to expand or grow your revenue. Here, there are two options here. Either you pivot or you refine your business model. In the Uber case, we refined Uber's business model. We did not pivot. But whether you are pivoting or you are refining, they are the same. You follow the same steps. Now, pivoting is where you are starting a new business. You have identified opportunity. You develop the product, or you know the problem, you come out with a solution. So in pivoting, you match your problem against the solution. Or you match the product against the market. Does the product fit the market needs? Does the solution solve the problem? If you test and it doesn't work, then you need to pivot. You need to come back again and redefine the problem, come out with a new solution, have different channels of delivery, and then you have your model again. So we use pivoting in situations where you experimented the business model and it failed. But when you are refining your business model, like Uber case, Uber has tried the model, it has worked. The business model has gained traction. People like the product. Uber is in business. But at a point, Uber needs to refine the business model to stay competitive, to expand, and to grow. And that is the refining. So in the Uber case, we refine. You pivot where you come up with the idea, you develop the model, you go to the field to validate, and it doesn't work. So you have to come back and look at the problem, the solution, and the entire process again. So it doesn't matter whether you are pivoting or you are refining your business model. You follow the same steps. So I want each one of you, I don't know whether you have your business models in front of you, but so far as you are running the business, it will be at the back of your mind. Identify new customer or customers, new customer segment for your product or service. Can you do that for me? Take about 3 minutes, then we discuss.
Doctor, I've already did one for myself here.
Wow, that's fantastic. The others, can you try? Can you try so that we can have a discussion on this? Hey, you are quiet too. Or you are not getting the concept well.
Yes, of course, we've gotten it. We're working on it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So now that you have been able to identify your new segment, take a blank business model or link canvas and fill up the block for your new, I think they filled out the blocks, the 8 building blocks for your new customer segment. So identify the customer segment, and the identification means you identify a need for those segments so that you fill up your business model. Think through how you intend to build that business, that product, that service, or how you intend to refine or to customize the existing product to suit the new customer segment. So I'm giving you about 5 minutes for this. When you are done, then we have discussions on how. I will show you other areas to give you intent on the channels. You can identify new business opportunities or expansion by reviewing your channel of distribution. And we shall talk about that. So we can go back to the Uber again and talk about that. Are you done? Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes, the house is quiet.
Well, with you, sir.
You are working, okay. Okay, so can we share the customer segment we have identified in terms of the need and the value you're proposing? Can we discuss? If you are ready, you can raise up your hand and then talk about that. Okay, Konate is ready. So Konate, you can go ahead.
Yes, like for me, I do welding and construction here.
Okay.
So you see, particularly welding, we only make gates for like our customers. We
Okay.
have different. we have found out the need for security doors, because if you look at the other types, they are not very durable, and the security is, you know, easily compromised. So
Yeah.
we make metal gates for our customers. But now the new customer segment that we want to feed in our business model would be doing repair and maintenance services and painting for other customers. For example, you have those people who got their gates for like 10 to 15 years, and due to rusting and corrosion and all of that, you see that some part of their gates have worn out. So we will have a new customer segment in our business model, trying to meet the needs and the demands of those people, because they wouldn't be able to buy new gates. But now what we do is we go to repair those gates for them,
yes,
and repainting it for them. So that is like a new customer segment.
Wow, that's wonderful. And now you can increase your revenue through these services you have added to your existing services or the products.
Exactly.
That's wonderful. And here, it's still working with your existing customers. Some customers you made a doors for them about 5 years ago that they needed a repairs and refurbishment or whatever, and you go ahead and do it. That's wonderful.
Exactly.
That's wonderful. Yes. Who else? Who else? Please don't feel shy. These are not okay. Are you ready?
Sir.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir. Can I go ahead?
Yes, Jonah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. In Oibo Jelly, we are into beauty therapies and salon.
Okay.
Now we just noticed that we can expand, because in salon you need products like weave-on, attachment, creams, and everything to make that person look beautiful. And most times, this customer have to get it and come to the salon in order to fix themselves. Now we notice that we can actually sell these products.
Yes.
So the customer don't have to get it outside, but they'll get the product from us. Then we increase our revenue by selling the product, and also do the salon of our customer.
Wow, that's also a very good point. Maybe as we are discussing, maybe let me also give you other options of expanding. Now, like with the salon.
Yes, sir.
Do you know you can also provide house services? Some of your customers, yes.
Yes, sir.
Where you get all the equipment you need, instead of the customer coming to your end, you yourself visiting the customer to provide the service.
Oh, wow. That is segment 2.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Wow.
So think about that.
All right.
So here, and even with this, you can come out, you can have a website, and then customers who want, or a Facebook page, that the customers who want the house service can place the order, give your location, and you visit and deliver the service.
All right,
you can
sir.
think through it. This is something you can be reflecting, think through it, and experiment to see if it will work in your end there, and if majority of the customers, to those who have used Stop Coming, can patronize. Why not? On that feasibility, that's the point I'm just asking. How feasible would that be?
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Is there any other?
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Can I go ahead?
Yes, Deborah, go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, for my own customer segment, it's a bit large, but then I believe it's still achievable. Okay, yes. So as a fashion designer, I've had this challenge of when I make outfits for my customers, most of them don't send me quality pictures, like for me to post probably on my Facebook page, Instagram page. Most of the pictures, some of them don't even send me pictures at all. So I think another way of like increasing my customer segment is having a little space in my working area where it can be designed as sort of a photography session, such that when my customers come for their outfits, then I can also have I can also employ someone that can do a little touch of makeup that, okay, for people that likes to do makeup. And then in that photography session, I can do a little photo shoot such that it's benefiting me in a way that I can post quality picture of my own, like to my taste, on my social media platforms. And also it's a benefit to them if probably they want to they want to go for a birthday photo shoot or probably any kind of photo shoot. Most ladies like photo shoot. So that way I'm benefiting them so that they don't have to go to a photo studio, and then I can get a quality picture from my own side. So I feel
Wow, that's very interesting idea. But you see here you are coming out about two ideas or two opportunities. The photo studio and the makeup.
Yes.
Which may demand a lot of time and resources.
Yeah, that's why I said in the first.
I will suggest that if that is the case, then why not the makeup? Or if you have a space, and this makeup is something you are passionate about, is it something you yourself, you always want to really look nice by doing your own makeups, or is it something you are passionate? Yeah, Deborah.
Sir, yes, sir.
If it's something you are passionate, then it's something you can start working on that and adding it to your business. But this one is though in terms of the industry they are the same, but this one will require different skill setup for you to do.
Yeah.
The other option is where you have a space, you can bring a makeup artist to set up and partner with that person in your area, so that when the customers come and then they also do the makeup, they take the dress, they do the makeup.
Yeah,
then
so that's
also get a photographer. You can also collaborate with a photographer, a professional photographer, who then can come either to your place to take the pictures. You take a commission.
Okay.
You take a commission, or you refer your customers to this professional photographer to his studio, and he does that.
Okay.
So you can be reflecting on this, and in all it's a win-win situation, because you may also have access to some of the pictures they take.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I think just I saw the hand up. Jasper.
Prof.
Yes.
Sorry, it was a mistake.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I'm just enjoying your class.
Konate, do you want to contribute? Do I see Kate's hand up? Konate, do you want to contribute?
Not actually, because I think I've exhausted what I have here. Unless if I want to add, like maybe because
no, I saw your hand up. That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
Kate's hand is up. Kate, what customer segment have you been able to add to your existing business?
Okay, thank you very much. For me, I'm into tree nursery propagation, both fruit and forest trees.
Okay.
So I found out that most of my customers complain that whenever they cannot transplant the trees after buying from my farm.
Yes.
So now this year I'm coming up with this strategy that whoever cannot do that, or you are willing to pay, you pay for transportation and then the labor cost. Then after buying, we transport it to your farm and then plant it for you. So that's the new segment that we are coming up this year.
That's fantastic. That's interesting. But Kita, have you thought of also, do you have a maybe Facebook page, Instagram page about your business or your own website?
Yes, I have Facebook page. Only Facebook page.
So with that Facebook page, you can also be referring your customers and telling them that now you offer this service. So those people, and you can be even displaying some of your plans.
Okay.
That you are nursing, you can be showing them. So the customers can place order through your page.
Yes.
Give direction, the time and everything, and when they pay, go there and deliver.
Yes, that's a good idea. We'll do that.
You see, so reflect on it and see how you can really implement that.
No problem.
So in this case, you're going to have a new model for this one too.
Yes.
Exactly, but you are leveraging on your existing capabilities. Your skill set, because the skill set may not be different to deliver this new service.
Yes.
That's good. Is there any other comment? Okay, let's look at other ways of expanding your revenue. But let's look at, in this respect, channels. So maybe I want us to go back to Uber model again. Now, the channel. Even in terms of the customer segment, maybe let me throw light on this. Like Uber. Uber is serving only individual consumer market. You see, but in marketing, we have two types of marketing. Consumer market, B2C, and then B2B, business market. Uber can also decide to provide services to businesses. So those of you, like I think success in the fashion, or is it Barbara? Either Barbara or Sas in the fashion industry. If you are serving only the consumer market, why can't you look or identify schools, companies that have uniforms? Talk to them and see if you can prepare the uniforms for them. You can sew the uniform for these companies at a fee. Here, you are moving away from consumer market to a business market, but using the same skill set. Are you getting the point? So like Uber can also decide to work with businesses, because currently Uber is working with individual customers or consumers. But what about business customers? So in terms of the market, if you are just selling to just consumer market, as you are planning to expand, can you think of business market? Are you getting the point? Now, how do you reach the customer, the channels? How do you reach the customer? Maybe let me go up the screen again, because I think some of these things are very helpful. I want to write it. I'm going back, but I want to use the whiteboard. Let's go to the next page. Now, the question is, what is your route to market? If in terms of the market, which type of market are you operating? So we have market, we have route, market. In terms of the market, we have consumer and we have the business market. In terms of the route, how do you reach your customers? And this can be direct, meaning you sell to your customers directly, no intermediary. Or do you sell to your customers indirect? Even in terms of segmenting, expanding your revenue base, if you are selling to consumers and your route is direct, you are here. You see, like the fashion designer, like think like connecting or something. Most cases, based on your presentation, I realize you are all in the consumer market.
Yes.
But have you thought of maybe business market?
Yes, of recent I've thought of that because there is this big estate company in the Gambia called Tough Global Africa. So he does construction. So what we're trying to do is have a business with him where we're going to be making his burglar proofs and some of his security doors for him. So in that case, it's going to be business to business.
Exactly, business to business market.
Yep.
Deborah, because you also came out fashion designer. I believe based on your presentation, you are more in the consumer market than others. Have you thought of business market?
I didn't get that, sir.
I'm saying, have you thought of going to business market, meaning engaging some schools, some maybe companies in your area where they wear uniforms so that you can do their sewing for them, their dresses for them?
Yeah, I've been doing like a mini version of that, but not really a big deal. Not
because
a big deal
it
yet.
can be an opportunity for you to expand your revenue base if you are to take that aspect also seriously.
I understand, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have the consumer, the business market. And in most cases, all your presentations, I realize your relationship with the consumers, they are direct, meaning you don't have any intermediary. Have you thought of getting other people to sell your product for them, meaning you reach your customers indirectly? Have you thought of that? Then you are here in the consumer market. Are you getting the argument?
Yes, like in the case of like having an agent. But what also comes to my mind is I have been thinking about that, but like in my case, trust becomes the issue. And when a product is moving from the production side to an agent, for example, from an agent to a wholesaler, then to a retailer, sometimes that might affect price. And when price is affected, that will also affect your production. But I was also thinking of trust. Okay, I might sell whatever product to an agent. He might go and mess up with that and try and sell it to the customer. Yes, the customer might want to blame the agent, but at some point they might tell him, okay, they can even lie about it and say, this is not my fault, it is where I'm getting it. And that is going to give a bad name to your product.
So in that case, if you want to go into that direction, because intermediaries also provide certain services, and you need to train them to get to the standard you want.
Okay.
You can negotiate with them to have a fixed price that they cannot sell above certain price.
Okay.
You see, intermediary can also be providing certain, depending on the nature of the product. Like in your case, for instance, even you can have a situation where you can train some of your maybe intermediaries, the agents, the distributors, to the level that they can even fix the doors for your customers. But in that case, you maintain that standard.
Okay.
You ensure that, and from time to time, you inspect the work they do.
Okay.
It's like franchising model. I believe you were around when we were discussing franchising.
Yes, yes,
It's along the same line.
yes.
But for now, maybe you grow back gradually. I'm not saying you should try to overdo all these things at the same time. No.
Yes, yes.
Because
Instead,
Doc, that was exactly what I wanted to ask. Do you
yeah.
recommend intermediaries for startup?
Do I?
Do you recommend intermediaries for a startup business? Recommend.
Yes, yes, definitely. But normally, as Anata indicated, sometimes can be trust issue. So before you start having intermediaries, you need to really establish that kind of close relationship with that intermediary, and you trust that this person will not mess you up. If possible, have some kind of, but it's going to be difficult at that level, even in terms of any contract or whatever you have with them. But I think the issue is more about the trust. Even if I give to this person, when the person sells, and I'm giving to the person on credit, when he sells the doors or the item, will he give me my money back?
That is exactly what I wanted to say. We are into import and distribution business, and this we have so many agents, and sometimes most of them, when we give them stock to be our intermediaries, to be our agents, we find it difficult for them to pay us back. Some of them we hold them to the money. Some of them we have to chase them ruggedly just to get our money, and in most cases you lose most of the money. So the matter of intermediaries, I think the disadvantage is too much than that of the advantages. I don't know if you can help.
It's not necessarily that. See, sometimes you don't do your background checks well. Before maybe you appoint a company or a retailer to sell your product, sometimes you can do a background checks and from other companies that are also supplying this person to sell for them.
Yeah, Doc, in most cases, I'm telling you, I'm saying this out of experience because I've been in this import and export for like a decade plus now. I know what I'm saying. Sometimes they will start well, they will start very well.
Very well,
And some of these local businesses, they don't have registration, they just open their shops, they will start very well, you will go there, see everything is going okay. But as time goes on, when they have some problems with other people, they will use your money, to solve that problem. And they will try to use another person's money to pay yours as well. But when something goes wrong, for example, let's say you supply them a pen, and later on you are unable to resupply that pen, they will use that money for those pens that you supplied earlier. They will use that money to buy battery from another person.
Yeah,
you understand. So this intermediary business is very
difficult, And as you say, every business has its own risk. Every business, but the moment you identify some of these issues, I believe you stop supplying them. Though there are some people who may also have a genuine problem. And I have a colleague who services Toyota cars, and he has a credit facility with Toyota company, Toyota Ghana. And he said there was a time that he ran into debt and he couldn't pay when his credit was due with Toyota. But you see, I think what he said he did was he went to Toyota company and he informed them about his situation, but gave them a promise that definitely you pay the money back. Maybe Toyota did their own background checks and realized that maybe this guy was telling the truth. So even they extended the line of credit and gave him more products. And eventually he sold everything, he paid back, and today he's still doing business with them, almost more than 10 years now. So you have to really do your checks to find out who are the genuine people in this industry, value chain, and who are not. Those who are not, do your informal checks and credit rating. You can know the ones you can do business with and the ones that you will not. It's difficult. I can understand. I know. It's
Thank you very
really
much.
difficult. You are welcome. Okay, I think we don't have much time, so let me just go to the next slide and then we. Okay, so I believe you have gone through this exercise. Those who have not finished, even after this class, when you are less busy at home, you can continue with that. There is also another one. It's almost the same. Identifying your secondary. You then look at your existing business model again. Look at your current revenue sources or streams, and now fill up the table below. Now, I think the first one can be linked to the example we had. Introduce a new product segment, like the Uber introducing delivery service. Uber introducing a delivery service. What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? And looking at the pros and the cons, how feasible is this? You can wait after you have done all of these exercises, then you rank them on a scale of 1 to 10. Looking at how to implement it, delivery services. Let me give another example. Let's say you are into beverage business. You have been selling, let me see, let's say porridge, breakfast porridge, like Cocoa King. Cocoa King wants to expand, increase his revenue stream. So Cocoa King will decide that now, why shouldn't we introduce fresh fruits, juices and smoothies for our customers? So that's what you need to write here, how to implement it. Introducing fresh fruits, juices, smoothies. What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? And here, you have to look at the advantages and disadvantages in the context of leveraging on your capabilities, leveraging on the brand name you have, leveraging on the goodwill of your customers. And how feasible is this? Within this, you can even introduce house delivery services for some of these fresh fruits, even porridges, breakfast porridge. What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? Introduce a new customer segment, as we did for Uber, premium customers or luxury customers. Why in those type of customers, you have airport pickups. When they travel overseas business customers, you have arrangement with them, you pick them up at the airport using your Mercedes, Lexus, using the luxury car. That will meet the standards of these people. What are the pros? What are the cons? How feasible is this? Introducing a new channel, like those in the fashion. You have been selling the brick and mortar. Customers always come to your place to look at your products, your clothes, and then they buy and they go. If you have Instagram page, if you have Facebook page, why don't you go online? Here, the channel to reach the customers, you are introducing another channel online. Or through intermediaries, where you have showrooms in strategic places where you display your product. Or agents who come and buy, as we discussed earlier on. He described the franchising model. You want to expand, you don't have money. If some people, but you have a very good image in terms of the brand and the service delivery, if somebody approaches you that you want to use your model, your concept, your name, to open a similar business in a different location, look at the pros, look at the cons, and how feasible it is for you. If you can provide the training, the standard, so that the person will not dilute your brand, why not? So please, I think this template will be made available to you so that you try it and see if you can populate it. There are other issues that comes with growing a business. And as I said, as a leader, do you have what it takes? To organizing the new tasks, attracting talents, fighting bureaucracy, maintaining momentum and communication, the vision and vision. The people you are bringing on board, do they share the same vision as you are? Can you really be able to hire the required skilled people that may help you to deliver your mission and vision? The opportunity, I think we have discussed this a lot. How clear are you with the opportunity? And the context, the environment. Yes, there may be opportunity for expansion. But if, for instance, like in Ghanaian situation, people are in hard times, they don't have money to spend on certain goods and services, is the timing right? Is the window of opportunity right? Is the business environment right for you to embark on this expansion? Government policies, are they right? Government regulations. Can you secure the necessary license? Can you raise up the money for this expansion? Either debt or either equity? Or are you going public? Or outright sale? Each of these options has different financial terms and implications for loss of control. If you bring in equity, you are not going to be 100% owner. If you bring in debt, you have to be paying interest and the loan from time to time. If unable, your business go bankrupt. And therefore, do you have to implement all these discussion strategies, options are made, formalizing the structure, delegating, assigning responsibilities, developing your organizational hierarchy, budgeting, all this. Do you have what it takes to lead your company to the next level? We end here. Is there any question, any comment on what we have discussed so far? I've taken about 5 minutes of your time. Is there any question, any comment?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yes.
My questions need your advice, sir. If the government seems to be the bottleneck to your business, for example, now, maybe one is starting a business, then the next thing you see federal tax, you see municipal tax, you see light bill tax, you see environmental tax, so many tax wearing down your business. What is your advice, sir? What is the way forward for this kind of situation?
You see, when we look at the external environment of a business, you have the micro and you have the macro. Government policies comes under the macro environmental factors. And when you're talking about the macro, you don't have influence. you cannot change the government policy. What you can do is adaptation. Using your creativity and ingenuity to work around some of these challenges that may hinder the sustainability and even the growth. I know in many West African countries or African countries, the government have certain incentive packages for youth who want to go into entrepreneurship or new startup businesses, etc. So I will advise that if you have SME board or agency, regulatory body, try to investigate some of these government initiatives. Normally, they don't make it open. They don't create awareness for people to know, but there may be hidden policies that prevent some of you from paying some of these taxes. You see, sometimes I won't encourage, but you can start the business by not registering it, starting from the informal way and running it, and be convinced that if this business can be sustainable, and then you can maybe start thinking about formalization, or you register it, and then you may, yes, when you are convinced this business can be sustainable, and you formalize the registration, the structures, and those things, because sometimes you may also need a government support. Maybe the government is giving grants to small business, to youth entrepreneurs. If you have also not registered your business, you may not qualify for some of these government support initiatives. So find out the incentives available to you, and then I believe, and also use your own creativity and ingenuity, play around. There is a video I normally show about this entrepreneur who was able to play around some of these government regulations to be able to sustain and grow the business. So this is how I can respond, because you cannot change the government policy, but you can adapt to play around it. I don't know, have I been able to respond to your questions? I'm not too sure whether I've done it adequately, but I think this is the kind of advice I can give. Hello, is there any other comments? Is there any other comments?
I want to thank you for your session. The session was interesting. Kept on learning on growing business and everything. Yeah. So that was a good session. That's the comment I wanted to make. And now we're waiting for the slides. So don't forget, because we want the slides to read it at home.
You have it.
Yeah, I mean, David, you can hear. I don't know, it's not David you gave to. You gave to, you say.
I gave to Erasmus. I think Jasper too is around. Is Jasper around, or Jasper has left?
Prof, I'm here.
I sent the material, but I think the file was too big. Maybe I suspect that could be the reason why maybe getting it to them is.
Okay.
I mean, a little bit.
We'll find a way to share with them.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there